Exponential growth is a growth whose rate becomes ever more rapid in proportion to the growing total number or size. Exponential decay is when an original amount is reduced by a consistent rate over a period of time. An example of exponential growth is the increase in cell phone subscribers per year. So if x-axis represents the years and y-axis the number of cell phone subscribers, the graph will grow due to the rapid increase of people buying cell phones. On the other hand, an example of exponential decay would be the decrease in the price of an old vehicle throughout the years. In a graph, it would be represented by x being the years and y the price by percentage. As the years go by, the value of the car will decrease. It all started when the Soviet Union needed a cheap source of energy, nuclear power. Over 2 million people in Ukraine's major city got their electricity from the state-run power plant known as Chernobyl.
The Chernobyl disaster was due to a combination of human error and imperfect technology.
Occurred in April 26, 1986.
During a routine safety test, there was an explosion and fire that released large quantities of radioactive particles into the atmosphere, which spread over much of Western Soviet Union and Europe.
The newly commissioned reactor, number 4, which is the one that exploded, was one of the communist regime's proudest technological achievements.
There were two main deadly factors on the reactor. First, potentially fatal flaw in the reactor design. The flaw makes it highly unstable when run at low power. And second, the man in charge, Anatoly Dyatlov, damaged the technology he was seeking to dominate. This building was opened before the expected time, only to obtain a considerable amount of money.
The Chernobyl disaster is widely considered to have been the worst nuclear power plant accident in history and is one of only two classified as Level 7 events on the International Nuclear Events Scale.
In a symbolic way, the Chernobyl disaster was the beginning of the end of the Soviet Union.
Over 600,000 Soviet men and women were brought in to contain the radioactivity.
Poisonous clouds were created and spread across the borders of the northern hemisphere, later washed into the earth by the rain, affecting plants, animals, and humans.
The attempt to avert a greater catastrophe involved over 500,000 workers and cost an estimated of 18 billion rubles. That means Russian currency.
Long-term effects such as cancers and deformities are still being accounted for. Caused over 10,000 cases of cancers in Russia and 25,000 worldwide over a 70-year period.